Summer League is here. We talked about it a little bit. Cooper Flagg versus Bronny James will have happened by the time you hear this, but all the big stars on Dylan Harper did not play. I'm not sure. I think he's going to play in Vegas. He did not play in the California Classic because he has a little bit of a lingering thing from Rutgers. But the big guys, the big names are going to be taking the floor. Vegas is going to be a madhouse, at least for the first opening weekend. I guess we asked this question, and I feel like we change our stance somewhat a little bit every year, but the overarching question is, does Summer League mean a little bit, a lot, or really not anything at all?
I feel like not anything at all, but it's not fun to watch the games, like kind of thinking that they have some sort of meaning. Like, I don't know. So I feel like, and this has become like a popular like theory on Twitter, I feel like over the last couple of days, is like the Cali Classic and Salt Lake City Summer Leagues get going. But it's like the Summer League can really tell you more about like the second and third year guys that are coming back, that are trying to like prove like, okay, like that should be the moment where it's like, all right, you're too good for Summer League. You know what I mean? Whereas like for the rookies, like it really has no indication as to how their rookie season is going to play out. So, even though I am very much I'm looking forward to and excited to see Cooper Flagg play, Dylan Harper play. I mean, we've already seen PJ Edgecombe go off for the Sixers, but I'm excited to see Trey Johnson. I'm excited to see Derek Queen. Like, there's plenty of guys I'm looking forward to watching. It's just that, like, if they have bad games, you kind of just shrug it off. Like, Kasper Siakashonis, for example, has been god awful for the Heat so far in Summer League. Like, he has like 2 made field goals and like 13 turnovers, something like that. Yeah. It's not been pretty. But, does that mean that he's going to be a bad NBA player? Like, absolutely not. It's just, some guys, the pressure gets to him a little bit in Summer League, and all eyes are on you, more so in the Vegas Summer League. All eyes are on you. And, if you don't perform, it is what it is. Like, you're kind of playing a different role than you would play in the actual NBA. So it doesn't hold a whole lot of meaning.
I'm about to put you on the spot here to really test this. They started giving out Summer League MVP in 2006. Can you name 3 of them?
Kyle Kuzma was the Summer League MVP, right?
He was the Summer League Championship MVP. I'll give you that. We'll give you that. He was championship game MVP.
Because I just remember that Lakers team was crazy with like him, Lonzo, and Josh Hart. That team was crazy. Man. You know what? I'm like trying to rack my brain right now. Did Keegan Murray win Summer League MVP?
He did win Summer League MVP. So look, okay. All right. He won in 2022.
All right. I think I got one more in my bag. Trendon Watford, Summer League MVP.
Trendon Watford, Summer League MVP. He was the Summer League Championship game MVP, so we'll get that to you as well. Hey, so maybe it does mean something.
Actually, you know what? All right, one more. Cam Whitmore was the Summer League MVP.
Cam Whitmore, 2023. So I was going to ask you if you might remember who won last year, which of all the guys you named, you did not name either of the people who won last year. So that just shows the stuff sticks in history. Last year, Josh Christopher was championship game MVP. And Jalen Wilson was Summer League MVP in Vegas.
Wow.
So
you know what? I was a big Jalen Wilson guy in the draft too. And I mean, he ended up starting a couple games for the Nets this year, but that's pretty funny.
People don't think about what's going on with the Nets.
I don't know why my brain. Well, Kuz makes sense because again, that Summer League team was crazy. But like, I don't know why I just remember like Trendon Watford. Yeah, I guess Finals MVP, Summer League Finals MVP.
Of course you do.
I don't know.
You probably live blogged that game. That's honestly probably why you remember it.
Exactly. Our brains work in weird ways, man.
I will say the one that you probably should have named is the guy who has his jersey retired, Nate Robinson. That number 4 jersey is hanging up at the Thomas and Mack Center because of his Summer League efforts and what he did for the game in Summer League. So and we would be remiss if we're talking about Summer League legends and did not mention Josh Selby, because he is someone who got 2012 MVP. He and Damian Lillard co-MVPs.
Okay.
Yes.
So he is someone that got buckets at Kansas and was going crazy in Summer League, and it was really like, oh man, what is actually, was it the Grizzlies?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, all right. So I do remember that. All right, I do remember that part. But like, I was going to say, I don't even know if I could tell you what team he was playing for. That goes to show how his NBA career ended up panning out. But All right, so it sticks in our brains a little bit.
It sticks with you a little bit. I think the big thing is because we are big basketball fans, and like any type of basketball we can have, we can consume. Because you saying Josh Selby, who was Summer League MVP when you were 17, like it wasn't like you were covering. Like you didn't do that for work. You're like, no, I'm locked in. I want to see some other names. I'm gonna throw out there just like to see who's like in the list of the legends. Randy Foye was the first ever. Jonas Valanciunas won in 2013. Oh, wow. Josh Hart won in 2018. Shout out to Brandon Clark, 2019. The only Canadian Summer League MVP up to this point anyway. And then I mentioned the other co-MVPs, Davion Mitchell and Cam Thomas won in 2021. So you can learn a little bit about what that is to say. That being said, I know you mentioned Derek Queen. I know we talked about Cooper Fleck. Who else are you excited to see out there take the floor in Vegas? Even though we're not taking anything from him, who you want to see take the floor?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we're still diehard basketball fans who are like already chomping at the bit for more hoops now that, even though it's only been a couple weeks since the finals ended. But, Dylan Harper is someone that like I'm really excited to see what he looks like with the ball in his hands a lot. And like he's going to be able to run the show for San Antonio. So he's someone I'm really looking forward to watching play. And then I already said Trey Johnson, but like he's someone that, he's just such a bucket. Like he can score in so many different ways. And it's like that type of player where like, guards it feels like guards run the show in summer league and they can take as many shots as they want. And like, it really is just like, if you want to jack up 30 shots, you can because you were the number 6 overall pick. And like, that's just kind of how it goes down. So, it's guys like that I'm really looking forward to watching play. But, obviously Cooper Flag too. Like, JJ Redick, JJ Redick, Jason Kidd had joked about how he's like, he's one of those guys is like looking forward to like deploying him even at point guard just to like see what Cooper Flag's got, putting the ball in his hands and letting him figure it out from there. So, again, like that's kind of what I was talking about where Summer League, it's tough to take things away because so many guys are playing in roles that like they will not play in the actual NBA. It will not be their role at all. But for a guy like Cooper Flag where, he's going to, we've talked about it over and over again, like ease his way into the offensive side of things for Dallas because of how many scoring options that they have. It'll be cool to see what he's capable of doing when he has the ball in his hands at all times in Vegas.
Yeah, I think the cool thing, that's exciting to see him and kind of figure out. I mean, first of all, it's just his pro debut, right? Like, obviously, he was getting paid last year and got paid pretty handsomely. But to think about just like guys making the professional debuts their first time with all eyes on them, obviously, is going to be like a lot of lottery picks. It'll be cool. I think the interesting thing or the entertaining thing is these teams who have big classes of rookies or classes of young players, right? Like the Nets. I know we kind of ragged on them last week, but like, okay, this is their chance to kind of make everybody who gave them bad grades in the draft look silly or maybe show the vision that they had. All those guys will get a chance to play together. The Hornets are another team. Draft class of 4 guys, and we talked about Tijon Salon last week as well. He's essentially a rookie again. He was the youngest player in the league last year. So this guy's 19 years old, like younger than a lot of the guys that the Hornets drafted this year. So I'm excited to watch like these young teams and kind of see how they play off of one another. Seem like the Bulls, right? Where like they got Noah Senge now and like he and Matas Buzelis, like and our guy Yuki now with the Bulls. So to kind of see these young trios, young duos, young quartets, whatever you want to call it, with these teams, I think that'll be fun. That just kind of makes it fun. And then the cool part of the fanfare, the pageantry around it, where it's like it's literally an adult AAU tournament, right? It's like these guys are I've never been in Vegas during summer league, but like you just hear is like 6'8", 6'9" teenagers walking around with big backpacks and slides on, and then you have like all of their NBA teammates. It's like the varsity team is there watching them, sitting courtside to watch them play. And it's just super fun. Like it's basketball around the clock because the games will start, like 3 or 4 o'clock Eastern time, even better for you, like noon, 1 o'clock your time. And then it's just going on throughout the day, all the way through prime time. So that's exciting. And obviously I'd be remiss if we don't mention the Toronto Raptors. Again, the Colin Murray-Boyles pick. A lot of people have talked about it. Looking at the Raptors Summer League roster, you never know how long these guys are going to go out there because that's also, a thing that you don't necessarily know. A lasting Summer League memory for me is when Brandon Ingram was going off and then he had the cramp and Magic Johnson was like, no, that's it. We're done. We're shutting it down. So like how much are some of the older guys with the Raptors are going to play? But their roster, you'll see AJ Lawson maybe get some reps. Colin Murray-Boyles, obviously, Jacoby Walter back out there as well. Grady Dick has graduated from that, but Jamal, like that's a good Summer League team. Like between Jamal Shedd, Elijah Martin, Jacoby Walter, Colin Murray-Boyles, AJ Lawson, Jonathan Mobo, like, and also shout out to a couple Canadians on the team. Quincy Guerrier is going to be playing out there as well. Name you might not have heard in a little while. So I'm excited to see. And a guy who's a college basketball star, and Aniwa Tate Jones from UC San Diego, another guy, was like their conference player of the year in the Big West. So they'll be fun to watch. I think the Raptors will be.
Yeah, Colin Murray-Boyles is a player who, again, like it's not going to be similar to the role that he's playing in the actual NBA, but he's going to have the chance to have the ball in his hands and kind of rock out a little bit on the offensive end. And that's where you get to see like, all right, like, you know, it's not let's see what we got for this year, but it's like, okay, let's see what kind of progress he has.
Division.
You know, right. It's like, all right, well, what's he going to look like down the line? Like when he potentially has a bigger role. So, you know, I'm excited to see that. But one thing that going back to Cooper Flagg real quick, I had a trivia question lined up for you as well. And I was curious if you could answer this one for me. I was looking this up today in light of Cooper Flagg's debut tomorrow night. And I was looking at NBA debuts for Summer League debuts for number 1 overall picks last 10 years. Do you think that you could tell me who the highest scorer was in their Summer League debut out of the last 10 number 1 picks?
So since 2016?
Since 2015. And to eliminate one, Anthony Edwards did not play Summer League because there was no Summer League in 2020. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Cat came to mind first, but I don't think it's Cat. I'm going to go with
Cat.
It's not Cat. It's not Cat. All right, Cat was 2015. Wasn't Ben Simmons. Nope. It wasn't Markelle.
Believe it or not, let me throw in a quick footnote on Ben Simmons. I laughed when I looked it up. Ben Simmons only played in the first half of his Summer League debut because he had cramps and sat out the second half. If that wasn't, a foreshadowing of what his career would turn into be, that nothing else would be.
Maybe there is a lot to be said about Summer League, because didn't Zion had a dunk? It was an earthquake or whatever, and then he didn't play.
And then sat out the second half. All right. Maybe we're on to something here.
Maybe there is something to be said about Summer League. I'm going to guess Zachary Risacher.
Zachary Risacher is the answer. Ding, ding, ding. 18 points last year.
Let's go.
Only 18 points, though. That's the most by a number 1 pick in their Summer League debut in the last 10 years.
And I don't remember it at all.
It's crazy. I don't remember it at all either. You know what? I feel like I might have been covering it for Sporting News at the time, and like he hit a couple threes, and I remember being like, "Oh, okay, his shot looks pretty good." But like going down the list, like Wemby only had 9 points, Paulo had 17, Cade had 12, Zion 11, DeAndre Ayton only had 10 points, Markelle Fultz had 17, outshot by Jason Tatum, who had 21 in that game. Ben Simmons, 10 points, didn't play the second half. Cat only had 12 points. So it's like, it's kind of crazy that these number 1 overall picks, you'd expect them to go into Summer League and put up these monster numbers. But whether it's because they only play limited minutes, because that's, the signal they're getting from upstairs, or, whatever the case may be, for whatever reason, it doesn't feel like they end up putting up these like gaudy numbers people would expect.
That's great trivia. And obviously I redeemed myself, because last week I was terrible when you asked me a question. So you and I both did pretty well just now with put each other on the spot a little bit.
Trivia.
And it's again, it just shows how important it is, or how much you and I both care. But it's funny because I was like, you know what? Like that's good trivia, because nobody would think that it was the guy who did it last year. So I guess,
and probably the least heralded number 1 overall pick out of the bunch too.
Right. Which again, and he was good last year. He had good moments. I think that he's probably showed his peak level performance. But the deal with him, I think, is like he's just going to kind of work towards making that the norm last year. And again, we've talked so much about the Hawks this year that, I think that he just fits right in perfectly with what they're trying to do. Before we go to a break, just on brand with that, people will hear this after the game happens, but Cooper Flagg stat line, Summer League debut, predicted. What you got?
Man, I mean, I would say like 15 points, give me like 6 boards, 4 assists. He's going to have like 3 blocks, though. He's probably going to have like 1 monster block that's like, all right,
that'll be his
Cooper
highlight.
Flagg is here.
It'll probably be on Dalton Connect or Bronny, and that'll really be the highlight.
Right,
and
exactly.
They'll play that one all over.
It's everywhere. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? What do you got?
I think it'll look like his averages at Duke. So like basically what you said, but I'm going to go a little different. You know what? He's going to outdo Zach. Let's go. He's going to get 19 points, 7 boards, 3 assists and 2 blocks. So there you go. So we will run this back when you hear this Friday morning. It'll be fresh on your minds. Whatever Cooper Flag did Thursday night. Hopefully, I will say he stays out of foul trouble, but you get 10 fouls in summer league, so that's a lot of trouble to get into. You got to like actively try to get in foul trouble. But some of the guys, the best of the best, find ways to foul out. Thanks for checking out NBA Sound System Canada on YouTube. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe below. And find us wherever you get your podcasts. And on Instagram, we have weekly episodes and bonus content throughout the week.